Okay, Mr. Napney.
Okay. Action item 6.1 is our 2017 to 18 school year budget resolution. Obviously, the law requires every year that a Board of Education take action to establish a proposed budget for the school year. Historically, Scarsdale has adopted a resolution that sets forth a specific budget for the following year. So with respect to this action item, I'm going to move that it be resolved that the sum of $153,690,765 shall be appropriated to meet the estimated expenditures for school purposes for the school year 2017 to 18, and that the Board of Education be authorized to levy the necessary taxes to meet the same.
Thank you, Mr. Napney. Any seconds?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fura. And now, this is an opportunity for discussion prior to our vote. If any board members would like to make any statements regarding the vote, the budget. I'm not going to go around, so I'll let everybody just volunteer when they're ready to speak.
I'll start.
Janet?
Thank you, Ms. Maud. I believe that this budget comports with the objectives set out in the transition plan and puts our students first on all fronts, from helping them break the reading code in their early elementary years to providing additional learning resources and special education, to improving our mathematics instruction through the Metamorphosis program, to taking meaningful steps forward in our STEAM electives and technology support, and to assisting students interested in Mandarin to begin their studies in the middle school through enrichment offerings. I believe our students and community will reap the rewards of our funding of instruction and programming in this budget as we continue to address the concerns and needs of 21st century education and to stay at the forefront of learning and wellness for our students. At the same time, we provide for our students and stay on course with our transition plan goals. This budget succeeds in preserving our long-term fiscal integrity by funding reserves and maintaining the district's self-insured health plan. While we don't budget to the tax cap in making budget choices, I nevertheless am pleased that we as a board have been able to think carefully and deliberately about each line item in the budget in light of our role as stewards of taxpayer dollars. This year we have done this with an overall tax levy growth of just under 1%. At the same time, I think it is worth acknowledging that we have had some difficult issues on the table in terms of continued funding, such as the Teen Center and other items that were trimmed or postponed from this year's budget. I must note that I feel fortunate to work closely with such bright and dedicated fellow board members and to have the expertise and guidance of our superintendent, assistant superintendents, and seasoned staff members who have spent many hours to make this budget a first-rate document that the community should, in my view, willingly support. So I just want to say in conclusion, I roundly support the district budget for the 2017-18 school year, and I'm pleased to cast my vote in favor of adoption.
Thank you, Ms. Cannon. It was an excellent summary of the budget. And
I had nothing. I was going to speak about the process. That was my comment. I think that Nina said it beautifully.
yeah,
I also just want to express my thanks to the cabinet for an outstanding effort again and great presentations, and your nimble and listening capabilities are much appreciated.
I have nothing really to add,
Okay.
other than my vote yes.
okay.
Actually, but before I speak to the budget, I just wanted to if you guys could confirm, I mean, from your perspective in terms of having this extender and the freeze in aid, I think there are modest increases, I think, built into the budget, and my sense is there's reason to be comfortable with those increases being in there. I mean, worst case scenario, we have means to deal with it, but Stuart, I don't know if there's anything you could say to on that issue.
That as well, so state aid makes up 4% of our revenue stream, so it's very minimal. We had a $35,000 increase budget to budget for state aid. That's using the governor's proposal, which is typically by far and away the most conservative. So feel very comfortable where we are with the budget at this point, where it would not impact any tax levy when we get to that point.
So that 35,000, I had a sense that that $35,000 increase was foundation aid. I mean, in terms of other areas, there aren't other areas where there are big
There
increases.
are really minimal impacts across the board.
So I'll say, I can't say it better than Ms. Cannon, but so I'll just say, as I said at the last meeting, I think about balance in terms of this budget. I think on the one hand, we're being very faithful to the transition plan that Dr. Hagerman very skillfully put together. I think that I'm very happy about the fact that this budget, in terms of innovation or steps forward, I think it hits various levels and it hits various disciplines, whether it's elementary school metamorphosis or STEAM, and a second STEAM teacher at the high school, which I'm very happy about. It sounds like we've got a lot of success with the STEAM program in the high school this year with the rollout, and so I'm very excited about that moving forward. And then there are issues that are day-to-day issues like the second nurse in the high school, which I think are important. And I think it was good for the league to note that there are also items that we haven't talked about much at the table, but also are reflected in the budget, like maintaining the class size practices in the elementary school and in the high school, and I think in the middle school. I think that's all very, very important. At the same time, I am pleased that the budget, as it's constructed right now, the levy increases below 1%. I also want to say that I listened very carefully to what the community members had to say at our last meeting, and taking all that in consideration, I wouldn't change anything at this point. So thanks to the cabinet and Dr. Hagerman and Mr. Matty and Mr. Martin and others, and I'm very comfortable with this budget.
I fully support this budget
Thank you, Mr. Moran.
and accept that some of the recurring expense and built-in escalation that we'll experience from some of the choices we're making today may compound some of the difficult decisions that we're going to have in the future when sooner or later good luck runs out. But for now, it looks good to me.
I would just briefly say that I think the budget is fiscally prudent. I echo Ms. Cannon's comments. I think there's a great focus in our budget on improving what are already very good, stellar programs, but there's always room for more. There's always room, especially here, for being better and better and better. And I think this makes us even better than we are now. I think there's an important focus on capital needs also, which sometimes get thrown to the back. There's some important one-time projects here that I think are important to the safety of our students and staff and the learning environment for our students and staff. So I fully support the budget, and I thank my fellow board members, Dr. Hagerman, the administration, and community members also for their thoughtful and respectful work, and for the community's respectful and thoughtful comments and engagement.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to thank the forum, the PTC, and the league for their attending all these meetings and their reflections and thoughts about our budget. It certainly helps us, and it's a way of us getting feedback from the community, and we appreciate that. Dr. Hagerman, this is your third budget, and I have to say it so reflects so much of what you've accomplished here, in that it takes what has been a high-performing school district and makes us better. And we and in a way that's been fiscally prudent. And In years past, there's always been that terrific conflict between the board and administration that we had seen. And here we've all worked together to create amazing new programs, embellish good programs, and still have a budget increase of less than 1%. And to Mr. Moran's remarks, we were lucky this year. And with flat enrollment, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but hope that we added a lot